Good evening, everyone. Reality recap, episode 11, starting in 1 minute, 8:45. It's 8:45. Time to get started. What's up, y'all? Happy Monday. It's your girl V here, episode 11 of Reality recap. Pretty consistent here, y'all. I'm giving y'all this good old nasty Claudia Jordan Bob tonight. What Nene said, it is tight, okay? It's raining, curls dropped, and no, I ain't feel like curling it today. So y'all gonna get this little Claudia Jordan Bob tonight. We are streaming live right now on Facebook, X, YouTube. So comment live. I can read your comments from all the platforms. Let's discuss. Be a part of the discussion. Interact with me because I'm happy to have you here. What's up? All right. Tonight we are talking about Southern Charm, episode 2 that aired this past Thursday. We're talking about Love After Lockup, which aired this past Friday. Love and Marriage Huntsville, which aired this past Saturday, which did not disappoint. They are serving only episode 2 since we came back for the mid-season, and it is everything. All right. After Love After Lockup, we're going to touch on Roni, which is blowing me, guys. I had such high expectations for this group. I know I've been telling you guys that and how I feel about Roni, but we'll get into this last episode that aired yesterday night on Bravo. But before we get into the shows, I feel like a newscaster, breaking news, posted on my Instagram and on my Facebook. Real Housewives of New Jersey, some breaking news. Now, there's been some rumors swirling all weekend about an alleged altercation between Jennifer Aiden and Danielle. I guess, how do you say her name? I want to say Cabral. But the cast, which we know is still the same from last season, we didn't lose anyone. I think there's one or two like friend ofs or castmates added that I really haven't done any research into. I kind of like to let new people come on the show. Let them tell me what their story is, and then I'll go research from there if I need to. But yeah, so we know just the cast as we know it is the same from season 13. They're currently taping season 14, and there was some type of party, a Tulum, Mexico themed party at Teresa's house over this past weekend or so. And I don't know, again, this is all alleged rumors are swirling that Jennifer accused Danielle of not donating to at a charity event. I don't know if that's what led to this altercation, but apparently the streets are saying a glass or a drink was thrown, and Jennifer was either bleeding from the side of her face or her ear, right? Now, I'm assuming cameras were down when this happened because all weekend it's been Jennifer and Danielle on pause. Bravo is investigating what took place. So, not clear, but, to my knowledge, I don't think the cameras were rolling when this altercation actually happened. But today, in the past few hours, again, this is posted on my Instagram and on my Facebook. News broke that both Jennifer and Danielle have been suspended at this time. It's not clear if they're coming back at all, if they're being paused for the rest of the season, a taping, it's still developing. So you got to follow me on Facebook, on Instagram if you want up-to-date information on this story as it develops. I guess the first thing that comes to mind for me is all the altercations and stuff we've had. We never seen anyone get suspended, especially with the housewives. We've seen a couple of mug shots, but we haven't seen anyone actually get suspended. So I don't know if this is the new wave. I can't tell you. I don't know. I'm interested to find out more. And again, like what's going to happen with them. But for right now, as we know it, both Jennifer and Danielle are suspended for this alleged altercation. So I just wanted to drop that little tea in your cup. Boop. Story still developing. Like I said, follow me for more information. I will keep you up to date as I always do on what's going on and what the streets is talking about. All right. So first up on our agenda tonight is Southern Charm, which again, not season two, episode 2 of the new season aired this past Thursday. And I will say this is shaping up so far to be a good season. We all know what we're getting into on Southern Charm. If you don't, you've been under a rock. But Southern Charm also had a big scandal. I think it definitely got overshadowed by Scandival and everything that happened on Vanderpump Rules. But, there was a huge scandal here about Taylor, who is Shep's ex-girlfriend, sleeping with Shep's best friend, Austin. All right. So we're getting into that. We're just scratching the surface right now on this season. But there is a new guy in town, y'all. Jared Thompson, or as we know him as JT. Okay. And he is stirring up the trouble. All right. So first of all, I'm pretty sure just from his conversation, he likes Taylor his damn self. He just talks to Shep about how he lost a great one. She's like 1 in a million. How he just thinks she's so great and awesome. And even on this episode, they discuss where like JT have invited some folks overseas somewhere, London, one of those places, I don't know. But that he invited Taylor, and they were there with friends, and it was like a group thing. So he says, but I definitely think that he is in to Taylor himself. But he was spilling all the tea and really trying to stir the pot this past episode. He went golfing with Austin, Shep, Craig, and he was just saying like, yo, Shep, keep it 100, like keep it a buck. Taylor's relationship with Austin, how does it make you feel? They talk all the time, they hanging out. Like, as your friend or your best friend, how do you feel about your best friend hanging out with your ex-girlfriend? And I just from Shep's explanation, I really think that, like he said, exactly what he said, this is a lifeline for him to still be able to get information on how Taylor's doing, what she's up to, is she dating, is she going out? Like, he is more in it or comfortable with the friendship between Taylor and Austin because, number one, they were good friends during their relationship. And also I just think that, yeah, he wanted to be able to get information on what Taylor was up to. And it seems to kind of backfire. So after they go golfing, they're drinking, and JT is still pushing this conversation of like, yo, how do you feel? How does it make you feel? They're hanging out. And he dropped the bomb that he went out one night with Austin Taylor. They were at the bar or whatever. Next day, he calls Taylor to get grab a cup of coffee, which, like I said, I think he likes her. And he trying to hang out with her for a cup of coffee, for whatever. And she's like, oh, yeah, I'm just leaving Austin's. So Craig was like, oh, my God, this is bad. And Shep trying to play cool like he didn't care. But we all know, if you know Shep, and when he's nervous, upset, anything, that knee started going. That leg, and that knee be jacking back and forth. And he definitely was not feeling the fact, or was not aware that Austin or Taylor had spent the night at Austin's house. And we all, listen, Austin cannot lie to save his life. He definitely wasn't expecting JT to drop that ball. He had no story prepared, and he was just stutter city. What happened was, And he basically said that he didn't know that she was still at his house. Like, like she was drunk. She must have went into a guest room. And he literally was like, yeah, I woke up the next day and she was there. And I was like, oh my God. It was not believable at all. Craig pulled Shep aside to talk to him again and see how was he feeling about that. And he told him, like, it made him uncomfortable. And he's 50-50 on did something happen or did something not? It could go either way. I mean, just looking at these previews for this season or just what we know from what the streets was saying a couple of months ago, they definitely did something. So I'm gonna let it unfold on the show, but this season is really, really good. And so far, I'm digging it. Just Shep alone with the stuttering. Like I said, this guy JT, he is definitely starting the drama, and I'm here for it. Misery loves company, and we got into JT's life a little bit. He got married right out of college, and they were asking him what happened, and he really didn't want to talk about it because you talk with guys, they're gonna joke about it, and he was just like, "Yeah, she's moved on. She's married. Her life is great. Her life is great. Let's not talk about this. Let's take a drink." So I think he's, like I said, misery loves company. He got some nonsense going on with him, and I do think that he's feeling Taylor. Outside of that, I don't really feel like much is going on so far, other than Craig and Paige. Not even talking about what Taylor said that she heard Paige cheated on Craig. I just don't like how Paige is already treating Craig this season. She's not treating him like he's a self-made man that literally started on this show as someone that everybody joked about. They made fun of him sewing pillows, and now he's turned that into a very lucrative business with him being on HSN, having storefronts. She's just not acting like she knows she could lose him, is what I'm going to say. And she's not interested in moving to Charleston. When he mentioned it, she cried about not wanting to leave her mom and stuff. So I'm interested to see how their relationship plays out. Craig has been through it, and I just think he deserves someone. He loves hard. You can tell that about him. He wants to marry Paige. He sees that in the future. He wants to live in Charleston. He bought a house and has completely transformed this house, currently putting a pool in the back we see on this season, and she just unfortunately doesn't seem like she's on the same page. Some of you may know Paige from Summer House, another show on Bravo, which I don't watch. Summer House, Winter House, I am not into that. There's a few scandals going on over there too, but that's just how I'm feeling about Craig and Paige so far this season. So it just seems awkward when they're together, and I'm interested to see more. So tell me your thoughts, comment, sound off. Are you watching Southern Charm? Are you not into it? If not, tell me why. But so far, a good season. I'm here for the ride. I'm buckling up. Next, one of our favorites, one of my viewers' favorites, because anytime I post about Love After Lockup, y'all go crazy in the comments, in the views, the resharing, reposting, which I appreciate. But Love After Lockup, new season, episode 2. Is this episode 2? Yeah, I believe so. Came on this past Friday. And child, let's just go through. I'm gonna just touch on my 2 favorite couples so far this season. So first, let's check in with Louis and Melissa, which this episode Louis was released from prison. However, Melissa had to pick up his mom, who is extremely overprotective of Louis. I can't even say he's a mama's boy because Melissa called him during the episode to just say, like, she was traveling with his mom. 3-hour drive to where he's going to be released. They stayed in a hotel and went to pick him up the next morning. But the entire time, she's rude to Melissa for no reason. Melissa just loves her son. She's never rude back. But it's just that, mama's love, or just that protective mom over her son. And she's just being ridiculously nasty to Melissa, rude. Like, girl, she came to pick you up, take you to go get your son out of jail. She's been there for him this entire time, which not his entire time, because he's done almost 10 years, I think, or did 10 years. So not the entire time, but from the time she met him, she's been very supportive and very respectful of his mom. I love that Melissa father is on her side, stands up for her. He even called while Melissa was in the car with Louie's mom and was like, let me talk to Donna. Let me talk to her. I want to see how she treating you. So he definitely got Melissa's back. But the mom is just so terrible to her. Just rude. Just, condescending, everything coming out her mouth, smart, demanding she go get the car and put her suitcases in, just doing the most. And then they get there to pick Louie up, and she's crying before he even gets out. And I get it. Her son did this long stint. She even shared his mom that she struggled with a drug addiction, and then, her son struggled with one. And she feels like she's the best choice for him to come home, live with her, and, she has the experience being a recovering drug addict herself, of how to help him stay sober and stay clean. I don't know if that's true, just because she wants to treat him like a little boy and monitor where he goes and what he's doing and da-da-da-da-da. I don't know. Because like I said, Melissa called Louie from the gas station just saying like, yo, your mom is trying to dictate everything I do. And he was like, F her. So I don't know if he just said that out of frustration. He knows how his mom can be. But I was thinking, ooh, wait till his mom see this episode, boy. She probably knocked him upside the head soon as she saw it. I'm telling you, but it's giving classic smothering mom. And I like Melissa. Melissa follows me on Instagram. I appreciate her support. And I just, I want to see where they go, because it's up in the air. Like Louie, I think he has to be paroled, and he's going to have to do that at Donna's house. Melissa lives in Jersey. They're out in Georgia. So it's interesting to see, does he actually ever move to Jersey? What is the relationship dynamic going to be between the two of them and his mom? But so far, she's just giving smothering mom. Can't lie to you about that. So that's what I am feeling about Melissa and Louie so far. They had a big chunk of the episode, so I just wanted to go over them. But the couple that you guys love this season, and I love this season, I always have to start with just saying rest in peace, Asante, who passed away Labor Day weekend from a tragic car accident. So he passed away, and he has been put to rest. So prayers out to Renika as well. This show was taped before his untimely passing, as I let you guys know last time we spoke on them, but it's airing right now. So Renika and Asante, we saw them the first episode, where she waited basically all day to bail this man out of jail. He was released, but had a hold in another county. So when he was released, he was transferred to that county where a bail needed to be paid before he would be released, a $3,000 bail, which we saw Renika dipped into her child's college fund to help pay this $3,000. And she received about $1,100 towards that $3,000 from Asante's auntie. Now, we did see on Love During Lockup, the season finale there, before we got into this season of Love After Lockup. Ranika questioned the woman, like she was on the phone with her and she was saying, "Oh, I appreciate you so much. Appreciate you for bailing him out, all of that." And Ranika asked, "Are you his auntie?" And the woman said, "No, I'm his girlfriend." Now she did sound like an auntie. She definitely sound older than Asante and Ranika. That's just what I gathered from the voice on the phone. I'm not trying to stereotype. It was just evident that this was someone older. And Ranika didn't mention it when Asante first got out of jail. She hugged him and so happy to see him, blah, blah, blah. And they started traveling back to Ranika's home to spend their quality time together. Y'all know, wink, wink, wink. But the woman called again while they were driving. And Ranika was like, "You better not answer the phone." He still answered and just said a few words and hung up. And he's just turning it, gaslighting like men do. Like, if you leaving right now, let me know. No, I love you. You ain't got nothing to worry about. You was there for me when I was at my lowest. Like 20 other girls couldn't have been there for him too, helping him get through this bid that he did. But she ended up kind of just telling him he can't be cheating on her and she crazy. And he was like, yeah, he was on his confession like, "That's my auntie, what y'all talking about?" But he had that little smirk and, "That's my auntie, what?" So I don't know. Well, they get home and I want to say, just from the time stamps I saw, it was probably like 12, 1 in the morning, or, they get home and Asante basically takes Ranika to Pound Town, if you get what I'm saying. And then we see Asante leave out in the middle of the night, like 3, 4 in the morning. He leaves out and hops in another car. We see this on security footage out in the driveway, right? Fast forward to this episode that just aired this past Friday. Ranika wakes up and she's like, yeah, she went to Pound Town for about 3, 4 hours. She slept until the afternoon of the next day. I'm thinking in my head, well, what did he do to her? Good for you, girl, but what he do? You slept all the way through to the afternoon? And you ain't realized he was gone at all? No? Okay. That's what she said. It was the afternoon. She'd wake up wrapped in a sheet and she go outside. She looking all around in the house, calling his name. And she goes outside and her wrapped in her sheet and see it, calling him all outside. No answer because Asante gone. Long gone at this point, right? She said all she got was a text from him saying he got a new phone. Because that's what he was supposed to be going to the auntie house. Auntie house was to get a new phone. Because apparently, probably his girl, this woman, she said she was his girl, though, that she brought him a phone. So she texts Ranika letting her know he got a phone. But then he not answering her text messages or nothing. So when I tell y'all commercial after commercial, not even before commercials, like she sat there on the phone, calling her family, telling them what's going on, calling her friends that live in Atlanta, telling them what's going on. And while she's talking, they keep cutting to outside and how the sun, it was day, then the sun started going down, then it's pitch dark. And he still didn't come home. The whole time she's talking to her friends and stuff, he never showed back up, y'all. And her friend ended up offering to her to go see a PI to find out more about this girl, because you got the phone number of his new phone. She's talked to this, alleged girlfriend, auntie, whatever, on the phone. So she has her number and she's like, let's go talk to a private investigator and see what we can find out, right? So commercial after commercial after commercial, y'all. And this man never came back. Like, I don't know how many days have gone by in this episode, but he never returned back. Like, the entire episode, just so you know. So she does end up going to see the private investigator. who is looking up the phone numbers, trying to figure out where he is. And the private investigator at the very end of the episode, because you know they're gonna cliffhang us till next week, calls the girlfriend auntie. We're gonna call her girlfriend auntie right now. And she calls her, or the private investigator calls, and the woman picks up. And then that's the end of the episode. So it's definitely a cliffhanger. We don't know right now where Sante is, who this woman is. But Renika has had multiple conversations with this girl, and apparently she was his girlfriend first. She said she was dating him for about 2 years. But Renika is very invested and in love, and she has this fairy tale in her head. She has uprooted her 2 teenage daughters to Atlanta for this man. She had a successful like eyelash vending machine business back in Kentucky where she's from. Um Kentucky or Kansas City, one of them K's. But she had a successful business, these vending machines and hair shops or whatever, and she has completely uprooted everything to move to Atlanta. And the man wasn't out 24 hours and he gone. Child. Listen, I'm trying to tell y'all from experience. Like, I've been there in a relationship with someone that was incarcerated. I was very young, 19 years old, and I thought that was cool. But I'm trying to tell y'all, like, these are professional con artists. It is very once in the blue that somebody is going to come out and not sleep with everything moving and just be with you. Everything that they telling you, that's what you call jail talk. They telling you what you want to hear, and they may even believe it themselves that they're gonna come home and be this great citizen and marry you and be with a family until they come home. And those old friends start calling, and they start seeing all these women, and they've been locked up with a bunch of men for 2, 3+ years. You're wasting your time. I mean, I can count on one hand how many successful relationships have come out of love after lockup, love during lockup, and life after lockup. It just ain't happening. I think it's unrealistic for you to think that of anyone that has been locked up. What y'all think? Like, do y'all think that they all coming home and forget just being a model citizen, but they're gonna be in a committed relationship? Like, come on, y'all. Let's be honest. It's not happening. Okay. But, I hope Hasante does surface, at least come back, call her, text or something in this upcoming episode. You guys loved the clip. I just posted one clip on my page of, when he was missing that we just talked about. And you guys loved it. Loved it so much. I even had requests to do a live watch party for Love After Lockup this Friday. So I'm going to do that for you guys. I'm going to go live on my Instagram, reality_recap. Right there. I'm going to go live and we're going to have a good old fashioned live watch party. I did them when Monique and Derek were on this season because you guys love them so much. I did them for Vanderpump Rules and the whole Scandival situation. I think it's time to bring them back. Summer is winding down. It's cold. I'm in the house. And we're going to bring that back. So join me this Friday for a live IG watch party of Love After Lockup. We are only into the 3rd episode of the season, so if you guys are not watching it, you have time to catch up. You just have to get through 2 episodes. And even if not, I will walk you through whatever you have, any questions. I will answer them for you in between during commercials when we're fast forwarding, if I can fast forward through commercials. Um, or even while we're waiting for it to come back on, during commercials, I will answer your questions. Y'all can comment. We can talk about what we just saw. It's going to be a fun time. That's what I'm trying to say. So come watch that with me. I think you will enjoy it. Right? Next up is Love and Marriage Huntsville, which I told y'all, baby, they is bringing it. Number one show on OWN, and definitely can see why. Out of all the franchises for Love and Marriage, Huntsville, DC, Detroit, Huntsville is the original cast, original show, and they just continue to deliver. I cannot say that enough. So let me just set the scene for you for Love and Marriage Huntsville. Now, before the episode aired, Letitia Scott, who's married to Marcel Scott, posted this long message where I am not going to read it to you. I just gave you the gist of it because it was a bunch of foolishness. It was random, and I was like, this is calculated, and it must have something to do with the episode. Well, she was just saying how every woman wants to be spoiled by her man and kind of trying to make, I don't know if she's trying to make us believe it or herself believe it, convince herself that Marcel spoils her, loves her, respects her, all that great stuff. And, she's using that famous line right now, my man, my man, my man. We don't believe you. You need more people. That's how I was feeling when I read it. But yeah, she put up this long post. I put it in my story. It's still on her page if you want to read the whole thing. But she wants us to believe that she is happily married so bad because there's always rumors swirling about Marcel. And is he cheating? Is he not? No one has come forward. He seems to be, if he is doing anything, he's been getting away with it for a long time. But Marcel is just the center of controversy this season so far. He already got into it with Stormy over this $100 at the Black Expo. And by the way, it's Expo. I keep hearing everybody on this, not everybody, but I keep hearing Expo when I watch this season, but it's Expo, okay? But yeah, he already got into it with Stormy and her husband Courtney over this $100, which we saw Courtney check him and pay a bartender a tip of $100 in Marcel's cigar lounge and keep it moving. So he's already went through that, but there were a few things that happened this episode where, starting with, Tisha went to visit Marcel while he was doing some construction in their home. They have moved out of their home into a very small living quarters space apartment while Marcel is working on upgrading their home, right? So Tisha goes in to talk to him, and I guess she has it on her mind about Marcel recently buying a new car. Now, he says he only paid like $3,200 or something for this car. It looks like it's a Mercedes, but maybe an older model of the Mercedes he does have, this old fancy two-door that, it's like the doors lift up like this. And he bought a yellow one. They showed a picture of it, but he's saying he only spent like 30-something hundred on it. But the bottom line is, apparently they both get an allowance monthly where Marcel gets 3,500 and Tisha gets 5,000. Why they both getting allowances out of their own money, I don't know. Whatever. I normally you just hear the wife getting an allowance from the man if he's the one making the money, but she works. She was actually running or like top shareholder in their business together, but that's what they said. They both get an allowance. Okay. So she was saying she didn't believe he used his allowance to pay for this car. Where did he get the money from? Yada, yada, yada. They've been paying for the Expo. and things like that. So he got very upset. He pulled, like, those pictures on Instagram where you see somebody's face and then it turns into somebody else. It felt like he turned into Drew's husband, Ralph. Because he started gaslighting her and basically saying, like, well, I don't ask you what you do with your money or how you pay, how much that pocketbook you got right there. And he got upset with her for questioning what he does with his allowance on a monthly basis. That was a red flag for me. I don't know about y'all. Y'all let me know. But that was a red flag. Allowance or not, to not know where your husband is spending $3,500 a month is a problem for me. May not be for you. You may not care. But any money coming in and out, I need to know about it. Whether it's something I spent or you spent. And the fact that he was saying, like, I don't ask you what you do with your $5,000. The fact that he don't want to know what you're doing is because he don't want you to ask what he doing. So that was giving major red flag alert to me. She ended up apologizing because, like I said, he like flipped the whole thing on her and got mad, and she ended up apologizing and saying, well, she said all that because she wants a vehicle herself, a new SUV. And he told her, all right, go buy it, or look it up, tell me what you want. It is just the whole thing was just strange to me. And I don't know, I'm hoping, well, I can't even say Tisha from the outside looking in at the episode that she could see what we see, because clearly not with that post she put up, that my man post. So clearly not, but something is not clean in the water. And he keeps flying under the radar. I don't know if he threatening folks. I don't know if he got NDAs, got women signing NDAs, but something is not clean in the water. Again, he has not been accused of anything. There's one story that came out in the past season about a woman posting a picture saying it was him in a hotel with her, but it was just the back of their head and stuff. And he like, that could have been anybody's back. That ain't me. Even though he was allegedly in Atlanta around that time. I don't know, child, but whatever he doing it good. So hats off to him. He got Letitia following whatever he say and do, and flipping it on her. And hey, she got an SUV out of it, so I guess she's happy. But that was the first scene this episode that really didn't portray Marcel in the best light, right? Now, there's another couple that we've seen in and out on this Love and Marriage Huntsville franchise, the Fletchers, who were close friends with Martell and Melanie when they were married, when they were going through their divorce. They were still friends with them while going to the divorce, but they're kind of upset with Martell right now. The Fletchers, the wife's name is Nell, and the husband's name is Chris Fletcher. They're a little upset with Martell because he summons them to court in the divorce between him and Melanie, and they didn't want to be involved. They were friends with both. They were upset. He didn't give them no heads up. They just got summoned to court to answer questions. So they were not really feeling Martell. On top of the fact that Chris is a real estate agent, Chris Fletcher. And he must have helped Martell in the current home that he's renting, that he uses to co-parent with his children. And the owners of the house that Martell is staying in, they want to sell the house now. They want to end the lease and sell the house. Chris said that they given Martell 60 plus day notice, and he still has not moved out. So they had a heated conversation in the first episode of this season about how he needs to get out the house. He got a week to get out. Martell's telling him, oh, you just in it for the money, or do you care about me and my kids? I have to say, y'all are hell in these comments. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I saw somebody say in my comments, for Martell to go to Chateau Charest. I can't with y'all. I can't, I can't with y'all. So on top of the whole being summoned to court, that also caused some friction. Martell was basically a squatter in these folks' house and not wanting to get out. We haven't seen anything else about it. Martell really wasn't featured on this last episode much, so we'll see about his moving, what's going on with Sheree. I mean, it seems like from the reunion, Sheree said she had to back off of him because he has so much controversy around him. Even with the whole situation with him threatening like revenge porn on Mel, so she stepped back. But we'll kind of hopefully see that unfold and what happens with his friendship with the Fletchers. But Marcel is not in too many scenes right now. But anyway, the Fletchers, they met with Marceau and Tisha because they were upset that they weren't invited to speak on the panels or be a part of the Black Expo. Okay? Because they said that they are a very successful business a business couple that have been in the Huntsville area before the comeback group and everything else. They've been doing this 29 years strong. Okay. So they wanted to understand why they weren't invited to the expo. They were able to clear the air about that. They were talking about the expo and who spoke on the panels, and the Fletcher was asking, did you pay, the speakers and stuff like that? And he was saying, no, I wouldn't pay them. Why would I pay them anything? They should be paying me to be a part of it. He even had some sly comments about Mel saying like, I have more experience. My business been open longer. Hope Enterprises or whatever the name of the business that Melanie and Martell had together. She was like, you see where that at? That's dismantled. And he was like, yeah, like she wants me to pay her to speak. I'm not paying somebody with a t-shirt line to speak. Marcel. As we know, Mel has several businesses. She was the one that had her contractor license, and Martell is still, to my knowledge, trying to pass the test. Because everything he was able to do while they were married was through her and her contractor license. But yeah, he made these sly comments knowing that they are friends with Melanie. Now, some of y'all said, oh, this is why they didn't want to be bothered with the Fletchers, Tisha and Marcel, because they knew that she was going to run right back to Mel and say whatever they said. So how about you stick to business? If your relationship with the Fletchers about business, then why don't you stick to that? Why are you talking about Mel? That had nothing to do with the price of tea in China. So, of course, Nell Fletcher, she went back to Mel and told Mel what he said. And she was heated. And when I tell you, she went in. And she basically was saying, well, if we want to throw jabs, we can do that. She was saying, how about I say I don't want to be involved in the expo with a businessman who has a $5.4 million lawsuit over his head for fraud. Whoop! Say it now. Say it for the people in the back so they hear you. She said she was tired of black men tearing down black women or not being supportive of black women that are out here doing something for themselves. For him to kind of diminish her brand of, yes, she sells t-shirts. She got clothing collaboration. She has a whole skincare line, 7th Avenue. She's also teaching folks how to find properties to kind of flip and sell. Like she has so many things coming on. Her singing career, she did a little tour while they weren't filming. I think I'm hoping we see a little bit of that on this season. But yeah, like she has a lot going on. Her whole business with Martell, honestly, is my opinion, is how Marcel and Letitia got on the map with their business, their construction business. So y'all tell me if I'm wrong, but I felt like his comments were tacky. He does a lot of attacking women, never men. You know, he did come for Courtney because Courtney stepped to him about something he said to his wife. But Marcel is just, he likes being like the asshole. He likes being the villain of this show. And we saw a glimpse of their brother that's not on the show who thrives off being that way to women, men, anyone as well. And it's just terrible. I don't really care to see him, and I always feel like Tisha, hopefully she checks him about it at home. I doubt it. But even when he was saying the stuff about Mel, she just sat back, sipping on her juice. Like, I get it. You know, you don't want to not seem like you're on your husband's side, especially in public. But I'm just hoping she says something to him. Like, you know, this going to come back. So we'll see in the upcoming episode because Mel's going to sit down with Marcel and gather him real quick. So I'm looking forward to seeing that this Saturday. But Love and Marriage Huntsville, it's delivering. It's delivering. You know, we still got the whole Kiki situation. And to date, she has not been arrested or charged with anything. Hopefully, we hear her side of the story. She's really not able to speak on it. When we saw at the beginning of this episode with Mel, she can't confirm or deny at that time if she was the person in the video on that Crime Stopper video. But this season is starting off real strong. They never disappoint. It's delivering from beginning to end. Just the dumb stuff these husbands are saying. Maurice and Kim and Kimmy and how he's treating her with her breast cancer and her libido being down. It's just been real life marriage situations and just a reflection of this is your marriage. So I'm looking for more. I'm looking forward to it, loving it. It's giving. I'll rate it like a 9 out of 10 right now. But they giving. What y'all think? Y'all watching? Let me know. Comment. Are you enjoying this season so far? And will you be continuing to watch? Right. But I know I will. So last we have Real Housewives of New York. And if you didn't catch my last episode where I talked about this, because I think 1 or 2 of my recent episodes were blocked on YouTube because I was playing some TV clips for y'all to discuss. So that's why we're not doing that, because they is jacking my episodes. I just feel like with Real Housewives of New York, I was really excited for them, happy for the reboot. The fashion, the women, they looked interesting. I love them on social media. But I don't, like I said, I don't know if the producers told them to like sell your sad stories or so the viewers can try to get to know you. But I would just really like to get through an episode without crying about something that happened in somebody's past. It's coming off to me like it's a trauma competition of who had the most trauma growing up. At one point, they were actually arguing in one of the past episodes about, you say you were broke, but you had $20 in your pocket. Or in your bank account. You had 20, I had 0. Like, it's just really giving a competition of the trauma to gain our support or our following of, or making them the favorite of the show. And I'm just over it. You know, I don't dismiss anybody's trauma or what they've gone through, but it's repetitive almost every week. So that is starting to get on my nerves. Not to mention we're still in this whole, not, you know, it seems to have resolved itself this episode, but this whole Uber and Aaron fight about Uber pushing Aaron in the pool as a prank. Aaron then playing a prank on Uber and hiding her cell phone about 45 minutes, and Uber being extremely upset about that and not talking to Aaron. And her being rude to Aaron, and then them getting into it where Aaron is saying how she's so nervous, she's so timid, and it was really giving to me Karen vibes. Like she was trying to paint Uba out to be the angry black woman, because Aaron debates, argues, goes back and forth. She even had an argument on the show about, what you mean Tribeca is up and coming? No, it's there. I live in this neighborhood. Like she stay on ready to debate and argue. For God's sakes, the woman's tagline is, the only bull I'll take is by the horn. So you coming off like you so tough. And in her argument with Uba, like Uba said, "Oh yeah, we're ready to go." Aaron was just standing here. I don't know where she went. She come, "I hear you saying my name. I don't want my name coming out your mouth." So you gave that energy, and then when Uba gives it back, you crying. Now, no, I don't think Uba should have snatched the girl's sunglasses off her face and kept them for 45 minutes to prove a point, because she kept her cell phone for 45 minutes. All of that was unnecessary. But when you nuck, get ready for the buck, okay? So I just didn't appreciate how she's argued with pretty much the entire cast. She's had multiple arguments with Aaron. She's even gotten into it with Sai. She got into it with Jessel. But as soon as it's the pretty chocolate girl, then it's you scared, you're timid, you don't like the way she's talking to you or the names that she called you. I didn't like that and how she portrayed that. Uba even mentioned it. She's tired of that like angry black woman narrative. So I ain't really feeling Aaron. I'm gonna give this season like a 6 out of 10. I'm really disappointed. Like I said, I was really interested. I thought they were gonna be fun, fashionable, throwing some shade, and it's just every week is a therapy session, So that's really how I'm feeling about Roni. I know the reunion taped, and even with the reunion, Andy's like, "Oh, we went through so many Kleenex tissues, we had to refill the box." Like, so that's not giving me high hopes that I'm gonna be knee slapping laughing because of the shade and the going back and forth. I don't know what we about to get into. So at this point, I'm just ready to see the legacy cast on Ultimate Girls Trip, so I could really get a laugh and a kiki and some shade. So that's where I'm at with it. I don't know about y'all. How did you feel about the Aaron situation and the Uber situation? Those are my thoughts. Again, I don't condone any fighting, pulling sunglasses off, but also I didn't like how Aaron tried to portray Uber. Her prank was stupid. She didn't mean anything by it. She didn't keep the phone all night, but that's just where I am with it. All right. So, just a few things before I get out of here. It is almost 9:45. Just a few things for y'all. Real Housewives. The Kardashians on Hulu. Their next season is coming back this Thursday. Can't wait. I love the Kardashians. I always check it in. Always check in. So I'll add that to the repertoire of something that we will talk about in my upcoming podcast episodes as this airs. So my Monday podcast episode, we will discuss the first episode of the Kardashians. Also, there is another podcast page similar to mine. I think their name is Reality Check. Podcast is spelled the same way, TEA, Reality Check Podcast. And the two ladies on this show were talking about Love is Blind. Now, I've tried to get into Love is Blind the last few seasons, and I could never get into it. I just feel like maybe it started off slow. I didn't give it a chance. Same with Love Island. I can't get into Love Island. I tried, and maybe again I have to stick with it a little bit longer, but it just doesn't come out the gate grabbing my attention. Well, these ladies mentioned season 5 of Love is Blind, which is now on Netflix, recently premiered. New episodes every Friday, but it seems like when it premiered, it gave 3 episodes at once and then a new episode from last Friday. And I binge watched this over the weekend. Guys, it's good. I can't say season 1 through 4 was this good because I told y'all it has never caught my attention. But just because of these ladies, I said, let me give it a chance. And it is good. So good that I went back to the ladies on the reality check page and told them, listen, we got to go live. I want to talk to y'all. I have so many questions, unanswered questions, because I'm coming into this whole love competition late. But I'm hoping to go live with them sometime this week. I told them I was going to DM them to try to set it up. So I'm hoping Wednesday I can go live with them on Instagram and ask all the questions. So if you aren't watching Love is Blind, give it a shot. Season 5, it's on Netflix right now. I'm interested. I don't want to spill the tea. I don't want to spoil it for you. Give it a go. If you're watching it, comment, let me know. But if not, give Love is Blind a go. Catch up and let's see where this Friday episode takes us, because y'all, it's getting good. And that's all I'm going to give you. That is all I'm going to give you. But I thank y'all for hanging out with me. We're doing this every Monday and Thursday, 8:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you can't watch live, it's posted on Twitter, Facebook, and on YouTube after I finish with the episode. So you can always go back, like, share, subscribe, please, on YouTube to my channel, Reality Recap. And it's only up from here. I'm going to keep recapping the shows. Winter is here. A whole new lineup of shows will be coming. I am currently patiently waiting the trailer for Real Housewives of Beverly Hills so we can get into this whole Kyle and this girl Morgan, or what's going on with them. So lots more to come. I appreciate y'all for joining me, and I will be back Thursday. We'll be going over Love and Marriage, not Love and Marriage, Love and Hip Hop, ATL, if there's anything to go over, because we have a season finale there. We have Love and Hip Hop Miami, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, which is delivering as well. 10 out of 10 for those ladies. So I can't wait for the new episode. We are still in Palm Springs with them. And Real Housewives of OC season finale this week. So a lot to discuss Thursday. So check me out live, 8:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, that's streaming live on YouTube, X, and on Facebook. But this has been another great episode. I appreciate y'all. Have a great week, and I'll see y'all on Thursday. Peace.